vampires real? Not the sparkling kind, but the drinking blood to stay young forever kind. Well, science says maybe. Hey guys, Julia here for D-News. Okay, science doesn't actually say that, but science has started to notice that blood, specifically young blood, might have rejuvenating properties, which is just crazy interesting. But why exactly that is, no one is certain. Yet one new study points to a new unknown molecule. In this study published in Nature Communications, scientists found that young blood could heal broken bones. Alright, so this gets a little, well, gross. But scientists can join the circulatory systems of pairs of mice in a process called parabiosis, which means living beside. Basically, scientists stitched together the tissues of two mice so an old mouse and a younger mouse would share a blood supply. I know, it totally seems like an antique thing, and it is kind of old. Clive McKay of Cornell University first pioneered this technique in the 1950s, but for some reason it's experiencing a resurgence now. Yeah, I know, it's a little too much like Frankenstein. But what's interesting, besides the whole sewing together mice thing, is that the researchers think this means that young blood cells secrete some molecule or protein that helps heal the body and keeps it young. And as an organism ages, they lose the ability to make this molecule. Previously, it was thought that GDF11, a molecule that circulates throughout the blood, was the fountain of youth, but a recent study contradicts that finding. This new study, published in the journal Cell Metabolism, found that as mice aged, the more of this molecule circulated in their bloodstream. And as researchers injected aging mice with this molecule, the worse their muscles repaired themselves, so who really knows right now? But even though scientists are still figuring that out, other studies show that there's really something powerful about young blood. Other studies, like one published in journal Nature Medicine, found that young blood recharged the brains of older mice. Researchers ran mice through standard laboratory tests after they received an infusion of plasma from young mice. They did much better on the test than older mice without young blood coursing through their veins. Curiously, that improvement was gone if the blood had been heated beforehand, which again suggests there's something going on with the proteins in young blood, because heat denatures protein, or basically when proteins get heated up, they lose their shape and don't work so well, kind of like ice cream melting on a summer day. Other studies also showed how young blood pumps up older brains. In one study published in the journal Nature, after being exposed to young blood, the brains of older mice looked more like that of a younger mouse. Nerve cells in their hippocampi were better at forming connections, which is basically what learning and memory is. But wait, there's more. In a similar Frankensteinian experiment, researchers stitched together older mice with a young mouse. They found that the young mouse blood rejuvenated the hearts of older mice. The older mice suffered from cardiac hypertrophy, a condition which thickens and swells the heart. After just 4 weeks of getting young blood from the other mouse, their heart shrank to a normal size. All of these studies sure make you want to drink a nice tall glass of young blood, eh? Okay, well, I know, these studies have all been in mice, but researchers are already trying to see what could happen in humans. In October of 2014, researchers at Stanford University gave transfusions of blood plasma donated by people under 30 to older volunteers with mild to moderate Alzheimer's. The results? We don't know quite yet. So maybe Dracula had it right all along, but I guess you could say more research is needed. While we're talking about blood, have you ever wondered why there are different blood types? Julian has the answer right here in this video.
What do the letters and plus-minus symbols actually denote? They're describing little surface markers on the blood cells called antibody generators, or antigens for short. Antigens come in a lot of different varieties, and your body's immune system attacks cells with antigens that don't match your own.
What do you think? Is this whole thing cool or creepy? Let us know down in the comments below. Don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons and keep coming back here to D-News. We've got new episodes every day of the week.